I'm fighting for every breath. Go get it. Don't wait.
The anti-vaxxers keep trying to tell you.
I was against the vaccine. I was scared of the vaccine. I wish I got the vaccine. I wish I wasn't anti-vaccine.
They leave themselves vulnerable to criticism because their message is important.
I honest to God thought I walked my last day on this earth.
Here is 53-year-old Jim. He's unvaccinated, and so is his brother.
What does it feel like?
Feels like you got your lungs clamped down. You just can't get the air.
Do you regret it?
Yes, I do.
They were imploring the unvaccinated, just do it already.
Why didn't you get vaccinated?
Just apprehensive, just informational. I just didn't, I guess, get the information that I wanted, or thought, well, it's so different. I'm not sure it's going to be a good vaccine. So,
yeah.
So
what do you say to folks now?
I think everybody ought to try to get it. Yeah. Just, if it'll help prevent you from getting really sick, it's going to do its thing.
Yet with countless needless preventable death,
we were in a situation to lose some spots to those guys.
Stars in sports like NASCAR driver Eric Almirola refused the call.
For the first time since February, the US daily death toll from COVID has surpassed 2,000. 55% of the US population has now been fully vaccinated.
In Alabama, overall deaths outnumbered births for the first time in 2020, a gap never before recorded, state officials say, many included in the more than 670,000 white flags dotting the National Mall in Washington, D.C.
If you want to not see more of this...
it's not solely vaccine-based. Other things have never had a vaccine and they go away. So I don't want people to think that this is all dependent on vaccine.
Do not think like this.
I was nervous about my career ending one day and never knowing how good I was or wasn't, just based on, potentially having equipment as an excuse.
Ironic that Almirola, a Cuban-American driver, says he'd be disappointed if his career ended unfulfilled, yet will not do his basic civic duty of getting vaccinated. When approached on the subject, Almirola said, "That's like me asking you if you've had a vasectomy." As Yahoo Sports' Nick Bromberg wrote, who wants to tell Eric Almirola that vasectomies aren't contagious? Corey LaJoy, a staunch supporter of an insurrectionist president, drove a Trump 2020 car last year prior to the election. You probably know where this is going. A likely response to Bubba Wallace's decked-out black car to represent Black Lives Matter, LaJoy did something that Wallace did not. Wreck his car 16 laps in and failed to finish at the Brickyard 400. LaJoy, unsurprisingly, is unvaccinated. He was forced to miss a race because of NASCAR's rule stating competitors who haven't gotten the jab but are exposed to someone who tested positive must quarantine for a week. He came in close contact with someone who tested positive during the taping of his podcast. Two-time champion Kyle Busch gave a very Marjorie Taylor Greene style answer in his response. I look at all that stuff as very personal, very choice driven, and nobody needs to know what people's choices are. Two-time Cup champ Kyle Busch said. But now everybody's asking for vaccination status cards and everything and where you go, so I guess HIPAA doesn't exist anymore, he added. Rather than misguidedly labeling the COVID-19 vaccination a personal choice and claiming HIPAA violations where there are none, drivers should recognize that choice has the potential to severely impact others, and they should listen to scientists and doctors who study viruses and medicine for a living, wrote Michelle R. Martinelli. Maybe folks like LaJoy and Almirola should be more like Joey Logano. There's one thing I learned when we won the championship. It affects so many people's lives with bonuses and other stuff, he said. So if I get COVID and miss the race, then I'm taking away food from other people's families.